My name is Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks.
And my name is James Maynard, otherwise known as Sweet Baby James. Welcome to Lighting the Way, Granny Raps and Rocks. Please chat with us, and Beth will be happy to chat directly with you live in person, if you are here live in person. And if you're not, comment.
Our program is telling us that we are not broadcasting, but maybe we are, because nothing is ever accurate. So there we go. We are live.
We are live indeed.
So
Live and well.
this is so perfect because the topic tonight is, do we believe what we see, or do we see what we believe?
Evidently we are.
So who knows, except now it looks like we aren't.
Well, we are certainly in a freeze there.
Okay,
Now
there
we're
we
back.
go.
Now we're
All
back
right.
on Facebook.
So this is an extremely important topic, and it's really vast. So I'm going to ask you if you have ever written an email to somebody, typed up an email, and then later on when you look at it, you discover you made a mistake. And you didn't see that.
You automatically filled the word in, didn't you?
Exactly. That is my point. The brain automatically fills in what it is expecting to see.
That's right.
Right? So now that's pretty funny, but it's true. So in life that we do and that we see, and that has extremely important implications for our world.
We have a good evening here from Catalina, who goes by Lena now. And by the way, today is Lena's birthday. Happy birthday, Lena!
Happy birthday, Lena!
Oh, so happy you'd share your birthday with us tonight.
Yes, we are very happy about that. So, let us hope that we are continuing to broadcast, even though it looks like we're frozen. Okay. So now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the fact that there is so much information that we are bombarded with every second, that we have to, in order to function, we have to sort of determine what's true and what isn't true.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, when I get up in the morning, I tend to believe that the sidewalk is going to be there when
Yeah.
I walk out the front door.
Right.
Don't you?
I do too.
And I didn't notice, right? But as a result of that, there is no sidewalk. But I'm assuming that there's. Now, what I'm trying to say is we have to assume some things, otherwise we're going to go crazy. I have to assume there's going to be a sidewalk in order for me to assume that I can drive my car to work, that there'll be a road, right?
There'll be a road.
I don't go to bed every night wondering if there's going to be a road. Now, I do go to bed every night wondering if our streaming is going to work. So we have to function that way, or we could not survive. And in addition to that, we have to look at how many inputs, how many things like, oh, I'm seeing the trees, I'm seeing the leaves, I'm seeing the floor, I'm seeing my husband, I'm seeing the dogs. All of these things are sensory inputs that I'm having, but can I take all of them in? If I would actually be overwhelmed, because by the time I took that all in, I would be up to the next minute, right? So in order for us to survive, our brains have figured out how to make connections, how to make assumptions. And it makes a lot of sense. But unfortunately, it's not always right and accurate, is it?
We project our beliefs onto what's out there, such that we think what's happening is fitting those beliefs. And we're kind of
What was the beginning of your
filling in the
sentence?
blanks. Well, that's
That
the part.
is exactly the point. We fill in the blanks about everything. Now, we see what we expect to see. Now, there has been a lot of evidence of this. There have been people who've been looking at testimony in court cases. You used to be a lawyer, James.
Yep.
And one thing that we know, that eyewitness testimony, well, it
With
isn't
very
that,
different versions of what
Right.
happened.
right. So it's not that we have more than one witness that makes it not accurate. It's that we don't see what we think we're seeing because we are seeing what we believe. I think about those terrible situations where the police say, oh, they saw a gun in someone's hand, and that's why they shot them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did they see the gun? Was that somebody of a race or ethnicity that they have beliefs about, that they're saying, oh yeah, so-and-so. Obviously, they're going to walk around with guns, right? They're no good. They're scumbags or whatever. So this has real-life consequences, very serious real-life consequences. Now, you can say, okay, but that has nothing to do with me. Oh, well, doesn't it have anything to do with you? Let's look at is that people believe, they see what they believe. So people have been convinced that the 2020 election was rigged or was stolen or something happened. And why did they believe that? Well, because they've probably been told that over and over by people that they trust. And then I happen to believe that it was probably a fair election because I haven't seen any evidence to the contrary. However, I cannot say that I personally have examined it all. I am believing the people who are telling me that it was a fair election. And it goes on and it gets worse and worse.
And if your candidate won, you want to believe that it was a fair election.
And that is the next point. We tend to believe what we want to believe. All that belief coming from. Are there any more comments? No, looks like there aren't. Okay.
Oh, Todd says, so glad it's working. Yay.
Yeah, that was a while ago. I
you,
hope that it
Todd.
is still working because it's being very weird on this end. Okay, so let's take the case of global warming. We have climate change, big time. That I think more and more people are agreeing on. And there are a lot of scientists who say that that's true. So there it is. I believe the scientists. Now there's people who still want to believe either that there is no climate change, but they're becoming very few and far between because we all have been experiencing it. But there is always the question. We have people who don't want to believe that our way of life is causing climate change. Now, do I know absolutely for certain? I had some explanations from scientists who explained to me why greenhouse gases create global warming and how global warming leads to climate change. And I believed them. But I made a choice to believe them. I suppose there is another explanation for climate change. You could say that the aliens have come in and they've gone boo, boo, and they've changed the climate. Now, if you believe in aliens and you think that they're here doing all of this crazy stuff instead of us being here doing all this crazy stuff, then you might actually believe that that is the case.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is very important. If when I was a child I was frightened by a big German Shepherd, my heart's going to start beating when I see a big German Shepherd, unless somehow I've been taught to be different and to feel differently. It's my automatic, that's my brain, is protecting me from harm, just like the brain is filling in everything else for me in order to keep me safe. My motivation is to be safe. My brain's motivation is to keep me safe. My brain has decided what it needs to do in order to keep global warming, because they want to keep burning that fossil fuel. And they
Not to mention all the interests in the oil and gas industry who want
us to believe that.
Want everybody to believe that.
But it's what I'm saying is that it's more than that. I don't want to believe that I have to change either. So it's very easy to just blame the oil and gas industry, but I'd have to look at myself and my own behaviors, and I have to say, well, do I really believe these scientists? Well, you know, in our world, there's a lot of people who don't believe in science. Does it look like we have completely lost our stream?
Oh, on Facebook? Oh, we're still live.
Are we?
Oh, yeah.
It's not moving.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, now it's moving. Great, thank you.
You bet.
All right. I really don't understand what's going on. There it is.
And we're still live on YouTube.
So my brain has decided, of all the possibilities in the world, that it's better for me to believe that there is going to be a sidewalk when I get up in the morning. It's better for me to believe that if there is a big earthquake, I should go in the doorway, or whatever they tell you. Get a huge German Shepherds that are in the street, and oh, it is still streaming. Thank you, Todd. Oh, Vicky
Victoria says, I can hear you, but the sound has tiny interruptions or stops.
Oh.
Thank you, Victoria, for sharing
Okay,
that.
and Todd says that it is still streaming. I have no idea why we're having any problems at all, but I'm just grateful that we are still streaming. So assume that our brains and our nervous systems are here to keep us safe. It keeps making believes that the election was stolen. Now, why do I believe that? I believe that because all my friends believe it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's buffering occasionally, but not
Though,
constant.
as Victoria mentioned.
Thank God it's not constant.
Right.
Thank you. So I want to believe this because all my global warming, or that the election was not stolen, and everybody around you believes that it is. Oh my God, do you feel threatened?
Yeah.
Right? Because we have to stick together as human beings in order to protect ourselves from everything. We need support. So that brings us to wanting to believe what our friends believe, wanting to believe what our parents believe, wanting to believe, stand up and say, you know, I wonder, really, is there anything to that? I mean, even just to question for a moment, could it be that that election was stolen? It's going to put you at odds with everybody who makes you feel safe. So are you going to do that? Probably not. So there is something very strong behind our seeing what we believe, which is our survival instinct. I need to figure out what of all to pay attention to, whether there is a saber-toothed tiger walking that twig was not a squirrel. It was really, so it depends on the conditions in which I'm living. If I'm living in a society where there's a lot of gang warfare, I'm going to be jumpy all the time, worrying about, oh my God, I'm in danger. I'm going to feel in danger. And guess what? I am in danger, right?
Yeah.
And if you have grown up in that environment, really rageful parent, and who made you feel unsafe, then don't you think that after years of that conditioning, you are going to always be on the alert and you're going to see danger where it is not? And that is the point. Danger. Danger. Whether there is danger or not, you are going to see it. That's why we have the reactions that we have. We are conditioned to pay attention to certain things because we're going to be ever on the alert for people who might hurt me. If I grew up in a very safe neighborhood, I might leave the door open. You know? Now, sometimes there is no danger, but I'm still alert to it because I have to be. I feel that I have to be. Happened to us that we don't even remember, that we are conditioned to having certain responses to, and that are still with us, and that are very hard to get rid of because we still believe them. A man is a two-faced. My mama done told me
Right.
when I was in pigtails, right?
Yeah.
My mama done told me
That man is two-faced.
that woman is two-faced. How many messages did we get from our parents about the opposite sex?
Right. Oh, my mother used to go around saying, men are no damn good.
Right. Absolutely. And you happen to be a man.
Yeah.
That meant that you were no damn good either, James.
Yeah.
And it's not just that. That gays are disgusting, that over and over and over. And then we see it and we feel disgusted and we say, I don't understand why, but the fact is I just feel disgusted when I see two men kissing. Well, you know why you're feeling disgusted? Because you've been conditioned to think it's sick. So when you see it, you think it's sick.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it isn't sick. Maybe it's not sick, but all of the stories that we've been told. And it goes, and so now I'm talking about personal things too. So we've been looking at social issues that we have been conditioned to see a certain way and that we are not willing to look at. We are only listening to our conditioning. Then we have the things that we became afraid of because of our conditioning, because of I feel disgusted when I see two men kissing because I was already told long ago that two men kissing is sick, and so on and so on and so on and so on. And how many of us actually ever stop and ask ourselves, how do I know this? Is this true? Is this true? I wonder. So, I feel that we won't admit that the election was stolen. Am I willing to say, okay, I wonder if the election was stolen? I wonder.
And then you can look at the evidence that comes forward.
And then you have to see if you can even trust the evidence. And where does that evidence come from? See, so much of the time, our evidence comes from social media, which is so wise, so conscientious. Put it out on social media. I saw it on Facebook. It must be true. Or I saw it with my own eyes. I saw a video, and I saw that with my own eyes. But actually, did you see it with your own eyes? Or was that AI or some other Photoshop or something. And even when I do see things with my own eyes, if I'm seeing what I expect to see, how much can I trust myself? That is really the point. I'm not trying to make everybody out there scared or neurotic. And it's probably a good idea that we don't ask ourselves every day if there is going to be a sidewalk. But we need to be open to the possibility. So some child comes running into the house and there's been an earthquake and there's no street. And that child, now of course, if there was an earthquake, we would probably notice it unless we were so drunk that we didn't feel it. So anyway, the child comes in and says, "Mommy, Daddy, there's no street." And then you go out and there's no street. Then you have to face the truth. Sometimes things happen like that. But also think in the meantime you say, "You stupid child, you liar, you did this terrible thing." Now we have something else happening. You're conditioning that child to feel bad about themselves. "Oh, I shouldn't say anything because nobody's going to believe me." So now we believe, we see what we believe. We've been conditioned popular thing and people don't like it. We either go into self-doubt or we just shut down. Now, what I would like to suggest, because this is such a huge topic, right? And I have just scratched the surface of this topic. But what I'd like you to do is think about changing your perspective to "I wonder." Being, I'm going to give you an example. I assume that the banks have computers that know what they're doing, and that these computers know what they're doing better than me. So if there is a problem, my first assumption is, it's me. Now, I don't even know that it's me. Maybe it was them, because I believe. So I'm spending hours and hours and hours like crazy trying to find out what mistake I made.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, and you actually did that and found out.
So, if we could just kind of start relaxing, like,
Just ask yourself, I wonder if that's true.
I wonder if it's true. Instead of freaking out every time I see a German Shepherd, start watching videos about how sweet German Shepherds are and start reconditioning ourselves. And try to recondition ourselves to be more relaxed. I don't mean we have to be stupid. I just mean give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Please share it. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel or
Facebook.
Join, follow our page and do all of that.
That's right.
And keep in mind what I've said today. This is the way we can understand polarization. Instead of saying that everybody on the other side is an idiot, we can now say everybody on the other side is seeing what I think we're supposed to close. So thank you so much for joining us for Lighting the Way, Granny Raps and Rocks.
Join us again next Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time.
That's right.
Every Wednesday. We're on the
And
air.
tomorrow night and every Tuesday, we have Magical Improvs, where we play music. So that's at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. So until we see you again, please, thank you.
Take care.
And
Bye.
make comments even after the live program,
Yeah.
because I will respond.
Very good.
Bye.